Here we are at the Upper South Hall at the SEMA show. This is video number 26, I think, so forgive me if I'm a little slow. This was a build that I knew I needed to feature because I'm just getting into that BMW world, you know, and I have such an appreciation for the 2002. And now Mano has told me that we featured one of his vehicles a while ago. It was a Pandem. Was it the very first?
Very first white E30 Pandem.
First ever Pandem E30, and I have to hand it to you, that one was so unique in that a lot of times when it comes to those kind of body kits, people don't really finish it and do it right. But you tubbed that one, looked amazing. But your car for the 2024 SEMA show is this beautiful orange 2002. What year is this one?
74.
Okay.
Started as a 74 chassis. My son buys a Lime Rock E92, brings it to the house. I'm like, I want to build a GTS Lime Rock 2002 edition, and here it is.
So your son bought a E92.
Lime Rock.
Lime Rock.
Yep. Pulls in the driveway. I'm like, I need to do a 2002 GTS Lime Rock edition. You know, fire orange, but I wanted to keep it in the, like if BMW will do it in the 70s or even 80s, what would they do, right? Except of course, carbon's not available, and the build started.
That's what this is.
Yeah. So all steel, sheet metal, front, nose, sheet metal work, and carbon, you know, Paul's carbon roof, hood, and trunk.
Right, okay, so what is carbon on this vehicle? It's the roof,
hood,
skin?
Roof, yep, skin.
Okay.
Trunk, complete trunk.
Okay.
Hood.
Yep.
You have some mirrors with some cameras in there.
And then this is all Son of Cobra.
This is all Son of Cobra products. That would be kind of like Forrest Kugelworks front spoiler, but cut up and redone. Mm-hmm. And this nose, this half part, usually for BMW, it will be a fiberglass front spoiler that would come all the way around. I didn't want to do that. I just did the half in steel, molded it in, and then the metal all in steel. Push the fog lights in, spotlights in, and kind of like a, you know, Lime Rock has a front spoiler. That kind of represents that.
So then, besides the orange paint, which is what I guess the Lime Rock edition really is known for.
Carbon and paint.
Right, there's just so many little touches that make this like a 2002 Lime Rock edition. What are some of the other things that you've done to it?
Suspension-wise, everything is 2.5 inches lifted up, so it has a nice travel to it, front and rear. Of course, when it comes to the motor, it's a M20 2.5 with a 3.2 crank built, and you have, of course, the competition engineering oilless turbo. Oil doesn't go in, and you don't have to drain it. It's just the grease you have to do once in a while. Sounds like a supercharger. It sounds real good. Oh,
cool.
So you have big power, motor pushed back a little bit. And you have the dash that's also Paul's dash with a little carbon lay in there. Momo carbon steering wheel.
What made you want to do the M20?
2-valve sound on a 2002. Every time I do an S50, S52 on these cars, it doesn't sound like a 2002. It doesn't sound like a 2-valve motor. M20 is amazing in this car, and it sounds like a 2002, you know, but you know that something is up with this motor. So that's why I love the 2 valves. If I want to do something for sound, this is it.
It's cool that you even think about that. I mean, because it's probably too easy to do like a 36 or 46 motor and make all that power. Yep. But you're thinking about every aspect of it as a complete build.
Have to.
Right? How much power does this make?
On E85, you can creep up to 500 horsepower.
That's too much.
It's for this car, it's a handful. It's, you know. But pump gas, you're at 340, 360 pump gas. Plenty of power, under 2,000 pound car. Plenty of power, it handles good. Motor's pushed back, so.
How much under 2,000? Do you know? Have you weighed it?
It's right there. It's 19 something.
Okay, got it. Is this wider at all, fender-wise?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm running, to understand how wide it is, I'm running 15x9s, 0 offset. So it's
that's very wide
from the factory one, it's wide.
what's the factory size, tire size?
Factory, the max you could run will be, let's say 15 by 7, 22 millimeter offset. That's the max you're gonna run. But there's a 0 offset and 9.5, so it's wide.
It's very wide. So then, are these metal?
All metal.
Okay, metal. The back too is a lot wider too.
Yep, all metal, wider.
And then is the rear end different to handle all that power?
Yeah, so what I do is I take the small diff off of the E36s, the limited slip, shove it in there, some strong axles, you're good to go. The car's so light that even when you get on it, all you're gonna do is spin tires.
How was the condition of it? Was this something that you already owned when you started this project?
Shells. I have a bunch of shells that are stripped, ready to go for a customer. Customer came in and said, hey, what do you have something new that you're building, right? So I've done a car for him. I said, I want to do like a Lime Rock GTS Carbon 2002, all metal and carbon, to build it for me. So that's how it started. All we do is 2002. That's all we do. We hot rod, 2002s. So restoring hot rod 2002s.
And then what kind of wheels are these?
So these are, a friend of mine cuts the centers. His name is Armand Corsa. He does a lot of steely wheels. So he cuts the centers with some BBS barrels and puts it together.
The fitment is so nice.
It has to be.
It's incredible. I love it so much.
And
roll cage, painted, same body color.
A little bit of paint color inside with the center console and the cluster.
The doors are so heavy, and it's still under 2,000 pounds.
Still under 2,000 pounds.
So all metal doors.
It's heavy because of the hinges, right? But it's a very thin sheet metal door.
The orange door pulls, super cool.
Yeah.
Interior is very simple.
Yeah. So Recaro seats with the tops cut off.
Oh, okay.
So it looks
to
more,
give it that classic look, huh?
Yeah, because I want to keep this part open. I didn't want to do a crossbar on the cage. So when you're driving, when you're looking at this car, you're just going to see the driver's head.
Love the matching orange inserts. Very cool. Love the theme going on. The center console too. Yep. So no infotainment, no AC, nothing.
Nope.
Just simple driver's car.
That's it. And if you want a rear view mirror, then Bluetooth connected to your phone, you can see the front, rear, and the sides. That's it.
So cool. And then the rear seat delete, super clean. The whole thing is very clean, very well put together. Amazing. The weave on the carbon, all the stuff that Paul does, so
incredible.
Nice.
So
where's the intercooler?
So intercooler is right there.
Okay.
Like in the 80s, when BMW gave you a turbo car, the intercooler was in the engine bay. So I didn't want to put an intercooler in the front. I wanted to keep it so the intercooler is right there, right next to the radiator. So I wanted to keep it inside the engine bay. Do a lot of things as if I was in the 80s and I'm building a Lime Rock, so.
Got it. Yeah, because BMW did have like a 2002 turbo.
They did non-intercooled, yes, turbo version, non-intercooled. But their 7 Series and some of the other ones, they did have turbo intercooled, and the intercooler would sit right in the engine bay.
And then all of this metal.
All this is factory, yeah. These are all factory lines. This would be a 74 Euro bumper, which is a short bumper, with the Euro lights. 74 would have the lights on the license plate frame. So just make it kind of tuck everything in with the Euro lights.
So when you're building a complete car like this, do you still have to source a lot of parts, or do you pretty much have everything already in stock?
So the first car that I built was 2002, was in 1984. Think about that, it's so difficult. But now, you got Forrest Kugelwork, you got Paul, son of Cobra. These guys are just building some incredible parts.
Wait, the first 2002?
In 1984.
You built?
Yeah, I have a picture of hot rodding in 2002, in 1984.
How old were you?
I was 15. 16
Get out of
actually.
here.
Yeah, I just had gotten my license, yeah.
And you're just tinkering it. Was it your personal car?
It was my personal car.
You're just working on it.
I just started working on it. I had a Pontiac GTO, and I jumped into a European car. I'm like, okay, I can make these things go fast and handle a lot cheaper. So, and that's how this whole thing started.
Amazing.
Been under the radar for a while, but that's all I've been I've done. You know, so
What a cool car.
Yeah.
I love it. It's not about all-out horsepower, 1,000 horsepower. It's just about balance,
Yep.
fun to drive, back to basics.
that's it. And you could drive it every day. That's the idea, is you can make it look good and drive every day if you want. And that's always what I've done. And my idea is drivetrain. You have to use parts that the customer can go to AutoZone and pick up a radiator, pick up a hose, pick up spark plugs. So drivetrain is everything stays M20, E30. So if they need a part, they go and get their E30 part, body, suspension body, all 2002. So not a lot of fabricated parts, one-off parts. You know, fabricated one-off parts, I learned, Larry, like you're giving a customer something that he will get stuck with eventually, you know. So, and that's been my idea, to perfect these cars and make them simple, powerful, good looking, and handles and drives great.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.